Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
guys.
Just sound check. Let me know how do you hear us, if the sound is well. To sound check. Please write in the chat. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Great. So, a little bit of introduction. My name is Yaroslav. I'm the founder of Motion Design School, and near to me is Alexander Kratinov. Is CG generalist who has experience, like 20 years of experience working in the studio, making a lot of CG videos and so on. And special for that, Alexander created the tool together with our team called Offset Effector. And this tool cover most common tasks in the like 3D and motion design industry. Like you always need to offset something. Like in motion design, you always like to appear some layers, not at the same time, but with little delay. Cinema 4D has this set of tools, but it's not so like great like our tool, yeah. So offset,
It's like dedicated
yeah,
for
dedicated.
this kind of tasks.
So on this webinar, we will show you the possibilities and the features that it has and why you should use it. Okay, so let's see the chat, and I want to tell you some rules of the webinar. Okay, so the main rule, please give us a lot of thumbs up in the chat. It's number one, so we can understand that our webinar is doing great. Okay. Second one, please wait until the end of webinar, because in the end of webinar we will make some giveaway, and 3 lucky people will get this tool for free. So yeah, you hear me well, absolutely for free. So it has $75 price, and you have the possibility to get it. So please stay until the end. I think the webinar will go like 1 hour. Yeah, we will try to do it faster. Great. Yeah, and today we'll also show like the possibilities of Cinema 4D a little bit, and Alexander Kratinov will share some great techniques today. Yes, so also please ask the questions. We will be glad to answer all questions regarding 3D motion design. So while Alexander will be creating something great in Cinema 4D, I will be sitting next to him and watching the chat, and I will answer all your questions. Oh guys, thank you. A lot of thumbs ups I see. So thank you so much. I'm pretty sure the webinar will go great. Okay, so we're waiting a little bit more, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, and we will start. Okay? While we're waiting, just tell us how many people using Cinema 4D? How many people from After Effects? Please tell us. Have you ever opened Cinema 4D? We just need to know. Please give us the answer in the chat. So some people I see already great question. For example, one Alexander.
I don't see
yeah, says that if it working with X particles.
Well, it works with MoGraph. It's just a regular MoGraph tool, so it works with X particles as far as it works with built-in effectors of Cinema 4D.
Awesome. Yes, I see like most of the people using Cinema 4D and After Effects together. So it's really great because in After Effects you have a lot of these tools for offset, but in the Cinema 4D I think it's the first one.
Yeah, actually, this is like an in-house tool. I made it quite a long time ago, and I'm using it in everyday tasks like for 8 maybe years or 6 years.
So eight years of experience, and offset effector tool is here. Thanks for the creation, because you will save us.
You're welcome.
You will save us a lot of time. So you will see. Okay, guys, we're ready to start. So we just jump into Cinema 4D. Really excited. So Alexander Kratinov,
Yeah, I'm ready.
let's go.
Let's go. Okay, guys. So in Cinema 4D, we often have to animate objects one by one. For example, the simplest, I think, example is just regular text. When we wanted to like reveal some text, and it has. This is not a complex task. We can usually do this with the help of like plane effector or linear field, but it has some disadvantages. As you see, if I, for example, animate this guy, let me create a couple of keyframes, I will get like sequential animation, but every time I'm going to like tweak, for example, this offset, between those animations, I have to also tweak. Let me do it like much. I have also tweak the position of linear effector. And there are some other tasks. You often use like completely different set of tools to activate clones, for example, by texture or by in random way. So you have to switch from this linear field to, let's say, random field. And it is like totally different approach. So using random field, you have to animate those like I think those values. So every time you want to experiment, you came to like another tool, another workflow. So let's make this with the use of our U plugin. Actually, this is like a set of tools. So it consists of effector and offset field. Let's start like with the regular setup. I think so. This is like a start position of our letters. Let's create an end position. I will do this using metrics. Okay, so like this. Some clones. Let's say we want these letters to like fly from the side of the screen. Camera is like here. So all we have to do is to use like, for example, inheritance effector. We can specify this matrix as a morph motion object, and voila, the text is flying. And to make this text fly one by one, these letters, we can use offset field in a follow tab of this inheritance effector. So from here, all we have to do is to animate this progress. Well, let's do this. I will set a keyframe at frame 0 and, well, like 5 frames. So it's working. And now we can it's like more procedural way to do this kind of animation, because we can, for example, add more text. Let's add some more text, and it works. The only thing we have to worry about is like a sequence, like an order in which these animations are happening.
1 second. So I don't see the linear fields that you showed, so it works without it.
Yeah. It's like I'm doing this using our effector.
Okay.
So it has simple, like pretty simple UI. It has an overlap. Let me stop animation somewhere in between to show this. When width is slow, animations are like more happen like one by one, and when width is like 100%, they all flying at the same time. So let's make it something visible. Also, we have animation curve, which can adjust animation of each letter.
By graph.
Yeah, and randomization. Some letters can fly faster, some will fly slow. So let's add another like sorting tab. This is the main tab which controls how we sort clones for this animation. Let's use for now just random field. Let's in a random mode. So all those letters are flying one by one, and we can add text every time we want. So let's, for example, let's make those start points like a little bit more random. I will apply a random effector to our matrix, and I will rotate each letter like randomly by 300 degrees at each axis. And let's add, for example, a delay in sprint mode to add some like post secondary motion. Yeah. So every time we want, we can add even more text. Right. And the tool just works. So this.
Okay, so that's the basic approach, right? But I already see the like the possibilities of it. For example, I see a huge time saver. Like
yeah, it's the procedural nature of this tool. Like can be useful in a task when you have to create titles or such things. So it saves a lot of time. So you can focus maybe just.
For example, if you will use the tools that Cinema4D provides, like this linear field, you always need to adjust the width of it, and
yeah, you have to tweak something. You could well start with a linear field. You want your text to reveal from let's say from left to right, and then you there is an idea to like make it random or make it somehow.
Yeah, and
like in some another way.
So for example, I see that we can like save like 10x time.
Yeah, let me show how this sorting tab works. Let for now turn this random field off, and let me create a spherical field. I will drag it something here. I have to make it big enough to cover all the text. And from this moment, letters are, as you see, they are coming from starting from this point. So you can mix them, of course. You can add random field and say overlay blending mode. So you have something in between. It's like random, but it's starting always from this angle. Yeah. So if you make titles, this is a tool for you, for example. Let me show like another project.
Let's show another example so people can understand how this tool can improve their workflow, because it's only one, I think, in
Yeah. I will show you. These are super simple examples, and let's start with this fracture. I will show the end, like the idea of this guy. Let's say you have a logo, yeah, which are just some objects in space, or object which you made yourself or just bought it. It can be anything, actually. And you, for example, once wanted like to animate it, yeah. I'll grab some objects from here, and I'll do this in a clear scene. So we have some objects. Let's say this is houses or like some other stuff, or maybe a kitchen, like set.
Okay, guys, you can create just like one cube and just duplicate it, maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
And
so I use fracture, which can affect those objects as homograph objects. Let me show you. For example, I use a random effector, and if I will rotate, every object rotates as if it's like a homograph particle.
Nice.
Yeah. So we can use set effector for this. Let's drop them to the floor. So this is a
progress bar.
Yeah. Let's start from the top.
Keyframes.
So yeah, we can also pick other things. And in parameters, this is a common like tab. Every Cinema 4D effector has this tab, so you should be familiar with this. So let's scale it down like almost to 0. So objects are falling from
the sky.
Yeah. So it's pretty basic setup, but it works. So that's all you have to do with this effect. And you can always change the number of objects. Let me grab some and drag it up here. We have the same animation, but it's like undestructible. How to sort those clones? For now, the objects are sorted by their position in Object Manager. So if this cylinder is the first one, yeah, we can make it last. Always, we can manually sort objects, but you always can use like a certain type of the set effector. So if we, for example, will add some linear field, we can always drive our animation. So we can inverse this. It's revealing from another side. So let me go back. Let me to this project. Okay. This is a slightly more complicated example. The main question is how to promote this like animation to another effectors. For example, I want the clone to be rotated randomly at the starting point. So we can always use weight. We can tell our effector to modify the weight of the clone itself. And when this effector is like active, it will write corresponding weight to the weight attribute. So we can use it after. Let me add like random effector, and let me rotate the clones randomly. So if we now drag the fracture to the fall-off tab of the next effector as homograph object, it will transfer its weight to the clones. To see it clear, let me turn off the scale for now. So it starts from random position. That's it. The only thing I've added in this project, it's like a dynamic stack with some tweaking in the first step. So this clone is like listening to the actual animation of this simulation object. It's listening to the actual animation of a clone and like it's trying to.
Yeah, usually a lot of people has the difficulties with soft body, rigid body, yeah, tag, and
Yeah, it can, this tool also can be like used as initiator to drive some like rigid body simulations.
okay.
So let me make a quick example. Let's create a cube and maybe a clone. So, and let's build a floor.
Can you replicate it?
I don't know. No, well,
Okay.
let me now show the main like purpose of this effector in.
Okay.
So we can always change the mode of rigid body tag. We can start animation not immediately, but at velocity peak. So all we have to do is to move clone a little bit to start its simulation. And when clone's velocity is 0, it just like stays in place. So let's create, let's say, offset effector. Let's move each clone 2 centimeters up. So let's animate this guy. I will change the width to 0, so clones will be completely animated one by one. Let's. So as you see, they are like starting to move sequentially, and we can also increase number of clones. We can like introduce some initial velocity to the simulation using like effector. Let's make a wave. And we can always sort things. For example, I want this thing to like fracture from the center. So all I have to do is to go to the sorting tab and add, let's say, spherical field. The size should be big enough to cover all clones. So let's try. Yeah, and as you see, you can drive simulations from this in the way you want. But I personally prefer like using random stuff like noise or. I think we have to increase the size of the noise, make more like
overlay.
Yeah, we can use textures or etc. So this kind of tasks. Let me show you another example. This is all about, you can not only use this tool to animate objects, but you can also like, let's say you have a task to turn lights, you know, a big like parking place where you have a lot of daylight like lamps. And this can be done also with the use of this offset effector. Let me create a PBR light. I think I will rotate it like 90 degrees. So, okay, so we can animate this light, for example. Let me create some kind of floor to see.
Okay, guys, answering on your questions, yes, it can be applicable to everything.
Yeah, it's just a normal MoGraph effector. As you know, Cinema's MoGraph, these guys, those effectors are like building blocks. So you can create almost any, to build almost any effect.
Yeah, for example, some people saying Voronoi fracture, you can.
Yeah, you can deal with Voronoi fracture as well. It's just normal MoGraph tool, as others. So let me animate this like light. I will skip a couple of frames and will make intensity 100. Then I'm just blinking with the light, you know, this kind of effect. So let me create something like this. I think it's too much, but it's okay. Well, let's inspect this like curve. I think I will make it like step, something like this. Okay, it's like blinking animation. So it's okay. Let's create a copy of this guy and animate it like something like another way. We'll delete one, move this guy here, like so. It can be also. So we have two lights which are like random flickering lights. Yeah. So let's use a clone to place our. We can use like fracture or cloner, or we can use any tool you want. So in my case, I will use like a cloner. So I have those lights. Let me them. Oh. Have something like this, and all the lights have their animation. We will not see the right like right illumination in viewport, because Cinema 4D is limited to like 8 lights as far as I remember. We can change that, but for now let's just use like 9 or 8 lights. So to get rid of this lights animation, we can switch cloner to a fixed mode. So animation is not like playable. We can then apply, let's say, offset effector or plane effector with offset field. It's the same almost. Let's in the parameter tab we can drive a time of a clone. As far as I remember, we have like a 15 frames animation, so this effector will like scroll the time into 15 frames in the future. So all we have to do is to animate this progress. So let's say from frame 10 to frame like 55. Okay, let's see what we have. We have like such a beautiful light animation, and we have we can use any object as for example for sorting. Well, imagine I want these lights to like draw to light.
With some spline.
Yeah, with like this, you know. In this direction. So all I have to do I will lift the spline a little bit. And all I have to do is to drag this spline in the sorting tab of a fall-off effect. And it will act as a normal spline field. So, if, yeah, you see, they are switching on by this pattern.
Nice. So
Yeah.
that's how you probably made the promo video. So in the
That's easy. So it's not that complicated.
Yeah. Also, guys, who want the project files for the promo video?
They're messy, but if you want to, I can I can make.
So just give us thumbs up if you want the project file. We will share something from the promo.
Yeah. So this is regarding lights. By the way, do you have any questions at this point?
Yeah. So let's answer some questions. So the first one: how does the light engine work with this plugin? Can I install it on both my tower and laptops? Yeah, you have 3 seats. So if you buy this plugin, you can install it on 3 machines. Okay, so another one. Have you used Octane Render with this plugin?
It's the same. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but answering your question, it's Redshift.
Just regular MoGraph tool, as any other C4D built-in tools internally.
Yeah, okay, so people will ask questions, so we can continue. And, I'll choose the best one, and then we can make some Q&A.
Yeah, we can go on. Let's let me show this one. As you know, this tools like MoGraph effectors can also, like fields, they can also drive not only the clone animation, but also like vertex maps, selections, and so on, etc. And this is the example of this kind of effect. And also it can be used to drive shadow effects, as you see. So this is like, wow,
Yeah.
basic stuff, but let me create this from the ground up. So I will make
again using the offset effect.
Yeah, like 100 by 100. We'll make it editable.
Yeah, Daniel, S24 works on Windows. Yes.
Yeah, and Mac, Windows since the R20 or R21.
Yeah. So for Mac, we're still working on 24, but for other versions, it's worked.
So let me apply, for example, a display deformer for this guy. I will use some noise as a texture, like this, maybe a little bit like bigger. This or this, it doesn't matter, doesn't really matter. So, and as you know, from the R20, every deformer in Cinema 4D has its own like fellow.
Yeah.
And so you can use like any fields available in Cinema 4D. Let's use ours. You see the random effect, yeah. And we can use these tools to reveal, to mask the effect of these like deformers. Let me create some animation. So for now, it's using the native sort of polygons. The first polygon goes first, and then the last is last. But we can use sorting tab, and we can add, for example, spherical field, inverted, I think. and we can drive from here. We can drive like sorting of our polygons. We can also use another deformers like jiggle, for example, to make it more natural, to add secondary motion. No, not here. Here. So it's pretty simple. The same is with vertex maps. Imagine I want to like create the corresponding vertex map for this kind of effect. Let me create like set an empty vertex map. We can use fields for this, and just well, I have and just drag offset field here. So we have the same effect, but
Nice.
in like vertex map. We can
Even the vertex maps.
yeah, we can further like develop this effect using layers in this tools. So we can use different like set of layers in vertex map and displacer, and to get the best of effect. Let me create like, let's say, material and mix two textures. So it's diffuse, vertex map, and just drag this vertex map into here. So we have two colors and shaded.
Yeah, so guys, you see you can,
To make it more random, you know, that's such a perfect circle, yeah?
yeah,
Let's make it more random. First of all, I will, you see how this widths
corresponding, yeah.
yeah. Well, let's add some randomness to this guy. File off. Let me add random field in overlay mode. Oh, not here. Certain tab. So here, overlay.
Oh yeah.
So you can control exactly what you want from your sequential animation. You can stop it in between. Well, I think jiggle will cache some animation. Otherwise, it's working very well. So you have to pick some parameters, but it's not that easy. Not that complicated. So you can also use this effector to work with selections, and overall it makes your project more procedural. So you don't have to worry about your management. This can like free up some CPU for an artistic tasks and such things.
We have a great question from Thomas. Is this polygon sorting less CPU intensive than vertex maps?
Well, it is CPU intensive. Well, I'm using it in a vertex map. Maybe I don't really get the question. Yeah, it is CPU intensive.
Okay.
Just like the vertex maps, I think.
Okay, yeah.
More or less the same.
So, Thomas, I hope we answered on your question, or
yeah, it's just a tool. But it works. You can have different polygons and the same effect. You don't have to tweak anything. Well, let's go on. Yeah. Let me show like this one. This is a little like project we did for Cinema 4D Journey offline courses. So
it's basically some student project.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It has start positions. Basically, I place a clone in the center of each polygon. So I have a geometry for that. These are just single polygons that are stacked in a like connector object, so I can drag any of them.
At any place.
Yeah, and it will
Wow.
be. And all you have to worry about is those like widths, maybe
Okay.
1 by 1,
Nice.
or maybe advance.
Some great setup here.
Yeah.
Guys, give us thumbs ups for the really interesting setup.
If you want, I will show how to build this very quickly.
Oh,
Yeah, this is like, let's create some kind of a cylinder like this. Okay. Put it on the floor. Let me create like a root object, some node. And I will use squash and stretch deformer for those like for the squash and stretch. So top point is like here, and bottom point, I believe it's 0. So we have this like squash and stretch animation, which is like a common thing when you're animating like cartoonish stuff. So let's pretend this can is going to like jump up. Create some keys. Let's say at frame 5 it is going to
like usual squash and stretch.
no, it's going to take off at this time.
Take off.
So it will let's say fly in air till frame 15. So we have the same position. You can also like make it squash a little bit in the middle of the air. So now I have just animation of this deformer, not the actual animation, like not the actual lifting of the object. And then it has some, I believe, like after motion, yeah, like this.
Little bit, yeah.
It's rough, but you got the idea. So have something like this. Not very. Okay, I think it will work.
Okay, let's see.
Well, we don't have actual jump, but we can imagine we have. Let me like create one, just like that. Let's move this node up. I think we'll tweak this curve a little bit to make it more physical. So, well, it's okay. Not that good, but it's
okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's nice.
It's okay. So let me delete for now this like lifting key which lifts this guy in air, and let's start with let's say a line of those or maybe this, yeah, the grid. Right. For now, they're playing. All clones are playing their animation. We can avoid this switching to fixed mode. So now you can play this animation using effectors. And we will use, let's say, an inheritance effector to move these cans in a like final another position. Let me create a matrix, basically the same size, like 4 by 4. I will offset it a little bit to not penetrate our clones. So let's apply an inheritance effect to this like cans and specify a matrix as a motion morph motion object. So all we have to do is to use our offset field to make this animation sequential. So I will create one, and as you see, it moves those clones in like target positions, like that, one by one. Also, I want this movement not to be like all the time. I want them just in range of from 5 to 15 frames, like our actual jump.
Yeah.
So let me create another effector which will like scroll an animation. Just create a plane effector. And all it has to do, it has to like scroll it's
Your actual
30
animation.
frames, 30 frames. So let me check. Yeah, it's doing this for all clones.
Okay.
So we have drag the same offset field here.
So right now we playing like actual animation, and we can do it with offset.
Yeah. You see, it's playing when you put this offset field here. It starts to play it one by one.
Nice.
So we have to remap this. We can always remap this guy, but for now, let me add another like field, like remap, and I will use this curve mode. I believe it's like here. 15 frame is like in the middle, yeah. And then roughly starts like here, I believe. Yeah. Let me add another key. These guys are.
What is shortcut for adding?
I don't know. I just like control maybe. Control click. So
you do it automatically.
No. This one is not for, or maybe yes.
Okay.
This goes not to plane effector but to inheritance effector. Let me cut this guy here and. So let's see. No, they are not going to like go back. This they have to stay at the point. So this one, let me open it. This one will be like 1. No, this is a tangent. So here, yeah, it's 0, like this. So yeah, and let me add like actual lift. So this guy is working. I will create another like plane effector. Move clones up. Let me say I want them 20 centimeters in the air. And I will add the same offset field, and I have it in a buffer. Yeah, I can just paste this one. Yeah, and it works. Yeah, I can like switch off all this color stuff. Not to. Yeah. So they're jumping, yeah. And you from now you can drive like tweak those parameters like, and you can also change the final positions very quickly. For example, we can let me create another MoGraph object like a matrix. This will be our like, final. I have, I believe, 16 clones like this. Let's drag it. It's a morph motion object of matrix of our inheritance effector. So I have this.
Okay.
Well, and you can always control sequence, the sorting. So you use sorting. Let me for now add random field in random mode, so they completely.
And let's make the offset a little bit less.
Okay. Let me change. Let me show you how it's changing when you change like a seed of a random field. So those are different like sortings, and one by one. It has not enough frames. Let me.
Maybe not so much can also make the jump a little bit higher.
That's artistic direction. It's like this.
Yeah,
You can also make it random if you use some kind of random stuff and so on. And you can always drag this anytime, this first point, second point, and you don't have to worry about clone count. So you can, for example, increase like to 20. Let me also increase here. Use expressor for this, guys. And no. 20. 25. 5 by 5. Yeah. So you can rotate this guy and same effect as this guy. Doesn't matter. So you don't have to worry about all those that your setup may broke if you like tweak something more than usual.
Guys, how do you like the setup we just did? Give us some feedback. So, thank you, Asher.
Let me make this like a line. Now, I will use linear mode with 25 clones.
Yeah, Thanos, if you here, also interested in what you think about it. Because I think you usually using a lot of offset in your workflow. Just interested.
It's not the like I will say it's not something special, but it's dedicated to work with sequential animations, and it makes this like the whole process much easier.
Okay, guys, we are ready for some Q&A session. So while we're working, moving forward, you can ask some great questions and we will answer them. Okay, I already see some. Does this plugin come with tutorials?
No, but we can provide some like demo scenes. It's as simple as every effector in C4D.
Yeah, so
it's basically this. If we create, let me show you. If you create like a new effector, offset effector, it looks almost the same as a plane effector. It is a plane effector.
Yeah.
But with built-in like additional like functionality. So we can everyone can use it. One can use it like usual way.
Okay, so I think the recording of webinar will be available like in Discord. So we will send the link. But do you think you can make some tutorials? Yeah, guys, we will make some tutorials in an interesting way to use this tool. So no problem. Also, we will share some project files. I think we have a lot of great stuff. Okay, next question. What happens if you animate the position of the cloner in this setup?
Let's see. Let me create like a cube grid. It is updating immediately. For example, 10 by 10. Different cubes.
Okay, do shift motion design, no problem. Linking it with Express, so of course.
No. You can sample it. You can do all the common things.
Connor, it worked with dynamics. We showed it at the beginning of webinar. You can see it's working really well.
I've built some systems, some pretty cool systems with this effector. When you can, as you know, you can use this tool to like sequentially play an animation of like object. Yeah. So you can make, let's say, a tea set, like this cup, a saucer, or a spoon. You can reveal it by animating by hand.
Yeah.
So then you use this offset effector to
Reveal.
to play this reveal animation one by one. Well, it's I think it's too like
Too complicated.
it will take yeah.
We can show the tutorial, right? Maybe.
Yeah. And then you can use clones of these guys to animate them one by one also. So it's you can build like a hierarchy. How do you say this? Hierarchy, yeah, of these effectors, and you will end with some really complicated setups at the end. So I have cubes, and I will, for example, well, I can show it here. Let me say jump. So let me drag this clone. So it constantly updating its state. So it's not a simulation, it's an animation. If we play this, it's...
Yeah, Dana's saying the beauty is that no matter what you change, the sorting remains consistent. It might be similar with step effector and all fields. The difference is completely procedural.
Yeah, it's completely procedural.
So, yeah. Thanks, Thanos.
Thank you. So that's basically it. We can...
yeah, we can show, for example, let's see how it's used in the Cinema 4D Journey, for example. I just want to let you know that this plugin is... let me see it like that. Yeah, this plugin will come for free with Cinema 4D Journey. Yeah, so if you want to know a little bit more about Cinema 4D to get a lot of tips and tricks and so on, let us show you, for example, the...
This is actually the content, the inner like content of a Cinema 4D Journey.
Yeah, so as you can see, offset effector is the common task, and we can see it even there. So if you just want to jump to Cinema 4D, or you're already the user of Cinema 4D and want to learn more or just start, it's the great course and the great news that offset effector come for free with it. Okay, so let's see.
This is just random clips from inside of Cinema 4D Journey.
So at the beginning, this offset effector was the Python.
Yeah. It was written in Python. It was pretty slow. Now it's C++ plugin. That's
yeah. So as you can see, we also made some graduation project. So as you may know, every course we will making some graduation projects with the students, and we can see like the last one of the Cinema 4D Journey course. We made animated typeface, and there are a lot of offset effector also, almost everywhere. Yeah, and the great news that this alphabet come for free. You can download it and use it in your project. Yeah, and the great part is that it's made by the students of Cinema 4D. Okay, let's see the beauty. And as you can see, the trick here also.
different aspects of.
Okay, let me share you the screen again. Yeah, so for example, as you may know, we have this course Cinema 4D Journey. You can learn a lot from it. Like it's I don't know, we like made everything together, you know, about Cinema 4D while working at the studio.
Yeah, I was working at the studio, and this most of this content is real tasks, which you can face in your everyday work in a studio. For example, nobody uses hair Cinema 4D hair as a hair plugin. For it's for me it's more often used like a scatter tool, advanced scatter.
Yeah, and as I said, the offset effector will come for free to this course. Let me just quickly update. So the cost of the plugin is 75, but if you want not just buy the tool and using it, you can like also take a course. And the great news that we have 50% discount on it too. You will receive, you probably received the link in the email, and you can just use the coupon, buy the course, and get the offset effector for free. So the cool news. Also, if you like just starting with Cinema 4D, you can jump on the 2D to 3D course. It's like for beginners, and you can get familiar with 3D and then jump to the Cinema 4D course. Okay, so right now we have the final part. Sorry, some old randomizing. Okay. Kate Kutavina, it's our employee, so we do not take her. Okay, so we have 2,956 people. I just copying this. I'll put them in randomize. Click randomize, and here are the winners. So Mehmet, Said, Fazil, Manuel, Matthew, please write us to Discord, send us email to support Motion Design School, and you will get the offset effector for free. Cool. Yes, so the great news. And for the last, some Q&A. Okay, so what we have? The question, I have already purchased Cinema 4D Journey. Do I need to purchase it separately then? No, just write to support Motion Design School and you will get it for free. Okay. I think you should do a Cinema 4D basic beginner course. Yes, you can jump on 2D to 3D course. Yeah, and then jump to Cinema 4D Journey, for example. How long the coupon codes last for? Maxim, how long the coupon? 1 week. So 1 week coupon will be available, and you can download the Cinema 4D Journey course together with offset effector. Okay. Another question: is this what Cinema 4D Journey is about? No. So Emerson Tanaka asking.
It's some kind of mix of a basic course and intermediate course. It's I don't really know. It's kind of a basic course, but it's built on real life like examples.
Yeah.
So all the stuff you can face in your real life work.
Yeah. So for example.
Yeah, we can just
open.
Well. Like video. Jump on this.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, no. This one, like about the content.
About the content. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't seen the video, you can see it. Okay, so Cinema 4D Journey. So that's just some breakdown what is inside. So you can
Yeah, here's like an artistic control of an animation. You know, these directors often want you to be too specific in this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And these are like also time savers when you have those like
Some express.
UI elements which are
This one.
some animation, some like dynamic tools, some. This one is my one of my favorites. Is like camera, complex camera animation. When you have this guy like moving out to the like another part of the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so basically a lot of tips and tricks, like you gain it, you 20
Yeah,
years.
it's not the perfect one. I mean the course, but I was really trying to do my best with this.
Even some sketch and tune.
Yeah, it has different things inside. Not maybe not that deep, but well, this is an actual like trick to build those like funny something. The chocolate is like flowing.
Ah, yeah,
flowing
brush.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so can we offset the price of Bitcoin? Nice question.
We can try. I
Yeah,
don't know.
with the offset effector also. Okay. How do I receive the coupon? Yes, you receive it by email or join this Discord. We will send them to. Cool. So thank you, guys. I see the webinar is
Over?
yeah over. And give us the last thumbs ups. And the webinar again, it will be recorded, so you will receive the link via email or in Discord. Okay, so the last thumbs up for us, and we finish.
Yeah, I want to thank you all for your attention.
Yeah, me too. So probably we'll meet you next time.
Yeah. Thank you guys, and goodbye.
So we're waiting for some thumbs ups. Yeah. Cool. So we stop the streaming and see you on the next webinar regarding Cinema 4D.